I didn't know we make films about Poland at all. Within this, let's say, Romanian new wave, there are people with very different views about cinema.
I see a TV series like Adolescence, and I can't help thinking that they must have seen your films. I don't know if you're aware of the fact, but at least according to Polish people, Romanians make the best films about Poland.
I didn't know we make films about Poland at all.
Yeah, you do not, but there's this collective envy in Polish audience, I think, when watching your films, Romanian films, and feeling like, well, you're close culturally, you're at least a little bit close historically, and the themes and the world is a bit familiar to us, a bit similar, but the films are better. How do you feel about the similarities and differences between Poland and Romania?
We are also envious of something, I can say, because you have more people coming to watch films in cinemas as a ratio than we have, which allows the Polish filmmakers to make genre films. We can't do this because the whole pool of people coming to watch films in Romania is too small. And actually, you know, this is one of the explanations for which the Romanian films focus mostly on the international market and on festivals. Because when we started making films, me and my generation in the years 2000, we didn't have any cinemas left. So it was impossible to be successful in terms of admissions. And somehow I think this formed a sort of, you know, this kind of a radical, realistic cinema aiming more to have films of quality than to have big crowds. And from this perspective, I think this was something that stayed with us in the last 20 years. And I was always feeling that whenever we're making a film about the past, it's not addressing just Romania, it's addressing mostly everybody in the East, all the people having the same experiences. And I was very happy to see that people react very nicely to things that we do about that thing. So probably they are universal enough for us to understand, all of us, what happened, especially during communism.
And how do you feel about the label of Romanian new wave? Does it apply, or do you feel like it's a bit too much?
I don't think too much about this, to be honest. I think it's good that there is a label, because there was no label before this one. So it helps festivals and directors somehow to have some sort of context when they screen their films. Of course, there are some expectations as well, but at the same time, it places you somehow on this, you know, very crowded market. But besides this, I have to say that within this, let's say, Romanian new wave, there are people with very different views about cinema, very different tastes about cinema, so which is good, which is healthy. So I think that there was mostly 10, 15 years ago something more like a stylistical movement, more coherent. And now I'm happy to see that this became quite diverse, and younger directors are trying to forge, you know, new ways of expressing themselves.
And like you said, the Romanian New Wave has been going for like 20, 15 years. And do you see its influence in international cinema? Because, for example, I see a TV series like Adolescence, and I can't help thinking that they must have seen your films. Like, there are too many similarities, like long takes, like so-called realism, like the theme of human in a society. Would you agree with this?
I don't know. We had some influence, but I would say that we had some influence, especially in territories that were interested in this sort of cinema. Like, for example, I'm more and more aware now that we had an influence on the Iranian film school, which is a very respectful thing, and we're very happy that this happened. Also, I know that a lot of the films that we did are used as, you know, in great film universities, in teaching. But I can't say that we influenced in any way Adolescence or any American films because, you know, maybe stylistically if you wish. But I can't say this. I wish we had. But there's a big difference. There's a long difference. And I would be very happy if we managed to do something like Adolescence and show that we can do it as well back home in Romania.
And you're here in Warsaw for a master class. And you also did a master class in Venice, I think. And I catched a bit of it. And I saw you discussing your scene from 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days, do you often go back to your own films? That's what
I never watch my films again.
Okay. Only during masterclass.
Yes, but I watch a scene. Yes,
Yeah.
I watch them so many times when I do them. Once they're done, I do my part. I accompany my films for weeks to promote and months to promote. So by the end, I'm fed up, and I wish them good luck and let them be. And I'm trying always to look forward, and that's difficult in cinema, to be able to surprise yourself again, to refresh yourself, to do something which is still interesting, that belongs to you. It's part of your style, but it's still somehow new, that you're not repetitive. So I'm happy whenever people tell me that they liked one of my films, and I'm even happier when it's not about the same film. But I try not to focus too much on what's behind, but what comes further.
Is there a correlation between your own film style and your film taste? In other words, do you only watch films such as your own films, or are you adventurous in seeking out other films to watch?
I have to think about this. So, for example, I think that most of the films that I need to watch are when I'm in juries, and there I don't pick up what I need to watch. I'm watching everything. And I think it's easier for me to watch films in theaters, because I'm, a bit old-fashioned, than to watch them on platforms. So in theaters, I can watch whatever you show me, even horror films or whatever. And I have to say that I appreciate watching things that I can't do. It's not that I try to watch, the same kind of cinema that I do. I'm very grateful to people that see things in a different way, and I have an eye and a taste for this as well. And I think that now October, November starts my period of watching a lot of films, because the Academy Awards starts, and I'm a member of too many academies, so I have the obligation of watching a lot of films. And sometimes I like things which are similar to my taste, but sometimes I like being surprised by something which is, wow, very weird.
And you have a new film coming up, which is in post-production, I think. Fjord is the name, and Sebastian Stan is a star. Can you tell us anything about it?
We shot in Norway this spring, and it's a film happening mostly in Norwegian and English, with a little bit of Romanian as well. And again, it starts from, some true stories that I have documented. And starting from them, I wrote a story about, about this conflict which is very present today in the world between this kind of more conservative views and more progressive views. I think that this is one of the topics of the day which really polarized the world abruptly into two sides that can't stand each other. And, I think that some sort of a dialogue needs to be settled, because, we can't really advance like this. And but of course, there's a story. Also, it's not just a concept. And I was very happy to finally be able to work with Sebastian and with Renate Weinsberg. They got along quite well, and we got along quite well. And I was very happy that I could continue working in my own style, even if I progressed a little bit to a different budget and to a different kind of cost. But it still felt organic. So I'm looking forward to finishing this film and showing it around, hopefully next year. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Good luck with the film. Thank you for the conversation.
Thank you so much. I hope it's going to be screened here in Warsaw. Thank you.
Me too. Thanks.